Welcome viewers back to Heart of the Machine, where there have been a lot of changes. We are on update 24. There are some new features here. Contemplations are a lot easier to navigate through. The versatile lens has been updated. All the lenses have been updated with these little numbers that appear on them now that kind of tell you if things have changed recently, I guess. Most of the lenses have right-click menus that you can get to now that just tell you the entire list of things there. Yeah, those are some of the big changes. One of the other interesting changes is under Street Sense, there are now pressure points, visible pressure points, so just like little side engagements we can try and do at some point. I don't know, a whole lot of overwhelming choices, to be honest. And last episode, I know I said I was going to start a cutter and send that cutter up here to try to destroy these three guys, but I was thinking about it, and wow, they have high hacking resistance also. My thought was we should try hacking these, but I'm not sure even my best hacker can get through such a high hacking resistance. What's the Raven's hack? Raven and Mine Runner. Raven has a default hacking ability of 292, and a weapon and armor can't update that, but maybe. Yeah, no, we have no way to improve hacking beyond that right now. So 292 looks like it's our best. I think actually if we go and sort this by highest hacking ability, that'll tell me a better idea of who has the best. Highest hacking skill current is indeed the Raven. Highest hacking skill possible is also the Raven. We could get a plus 60 for something. I'm not sure what. 352 though, that's still well below, or well below these guys' hacking resistance of 460, so that's 100 points below. I think it would probably be impossible to hack these. Their armor plating of 514. If we had a cutter out with our good armor updates, combat power would be 225. We'd just be getting through their armor. And their health of 1333, that's still like way too many shots. We'd need 4 or 5 cutters up there. How are we looking in terms of vehicle capacity? We have 20 of 48. A cutter takes 6, so we could make 4 cutters. That would be 20,000 morphological lattice. We're not quite there, but we're almost there. Maybe we'll do that next turn. We'll send 4 cutters up there and see if we can just devastate them with a vehicle barrage. In fact, I'm thinking that might be the way to go. Before we do that though, we're still investigating private residences, which now is directing me to the versatile lens. So investigating private residences here, I think highlights some things if I have versatile set. But yeah, I'm actually not seeing anything highlighted. Maybe it really means Street Sense project related. So those are the flush out the bombers projects. And then these ones are the designing the Crucible projects, so they are showing up in project related. Investigating the private residences though, I would expect that to have been the investigation lens. If I do put on... I did have a lens not too long ago that was showing circles. There we are. This one. That's just repair coverage, okay. So versatile, investigating private residences. In the versatile lens, you will see a variety of actions you can take by moving to them. I'm not seeing the private residences, so maybe, here it is, search home. Okay, so they do show up in versatile and project related. These pink ones, search homes. We have a few of those to do as well. Okay, so back to reality. The designing the Crucible really is the thing that gives us the most direct and immediate benefit. These ones, especially deep materials studies, giving us plus 20 engineering skill per CPU. So since we can do this one 5 times, I only see 2 of them on the board, 3 of them on the board right now. So we'll start with those. 3 times that is 60 engineering skill per CPU. We can put 2 CPUs on these guys, right? We already have 2. Right now we're getting 60 engineering from each, bringing us up to 325. We only need a little bit more. So this will add 20 each, so that'll be 80 engineering per CPU, giving us a bonus of 40 above where we are at now, 365. If we do that twice, that'll be a bonus of 80. So that'll get us to 405, which is just over the limit for this contemplation that we really want to do, designing full-time VR pods at 400 engineering skill. So that's our first priority right now. In addition, we want to be building cutters so we can stand a chance of fighting these ridiculously powerful mechs. Cutters don't actually have room for passengers, unfortunately, so they are our best combat power. If we go into hardware, yeah, there's no, this is only androids, right? Or can we change it? No, we can look at vehicles too. Okay, so if we look at vehicles with best power, that's going to be the Bastion. And Bastion does have room for androids. That's this guy. Combat power 265 instead of 225, plus higher health, so that's a better option. That'll give us 4 seats. We can make 2 of these right away and go pick up our tech and bring the tech around to do stuff for us. So we can drop a Bastion into the field here. And then with that Bastion, we can start by picking up Tech 4000. Tech 4000 is then interested in this way over here, deep material study. So we'll bring the Bastion that direction, hopefully saving some mental energy for the technician in the process. Unload you here to do the deep material study. You have an insufficient security clearance. You need 3. You have 1. Okay, so we can't bring a tech to do that. We need something with higher security clearance. The only thing I know of that has that high security clearance is a PMC. I believe the reason we're getting that message is because, yeah, this is an underground science lab that we have to enter, which has an L3 security clearance. PMCs have clearance 3. Harbinger clearance 4, Mine Runner clearance 4, so Raven clearance 3, so PMC might not be the right thing to build, honestly. They do cost 12. And they have PMC officer appearance, so they're easy to hide, but the Raven or Mine Runners are generally more valuable for their skills, plus they cost a lot less. So let's build a Mine Runner and see if we can use a Mine Runner as the thing that collects this stuff for us rather than Tech 4000. We can build a Mine Runner really close here too. Let's build it outside of this compound just in case. This Mine Runner can then go back to Street Sense and check on whether we can do a deep material study. No longer unloading, and that's going to give us CPUs plus 20 engineering skill. Great. Success. Hop back into the ship. And let's do some more of those. There's another one right here. So let's bring the ship up this side. and we'll have that mine runner hop out again. Just checking these. So this time, it's not telling me that these have a security clearance. It looks like this whole site does. Or maybe it's this site here. Yeah, this whole mining site has a security clearance, but the individual buildings don't show it. Okay, back on Street Sense. We're going to do a deep material study here for designing the Crucible and get more engineering skill and cognition. And then that was 2 out of 3. There's another one right here. So Mine Runner here will hop back on to the vehicle, but we're out of turns to do that. We do have some equipment missing on Mine Runner. Secondary weapon. This is going to be where our handgun upgrades come in to help. Generally, weaken enemy hacker is what we've been giving these guys because it's OP when fighting enemy hackers. So I don't see any real reason to give them anything else because that's pretty much their only combat role. Armor-wise, high health, and then for battle, I suppose it doesn't really make any difference right now. Maybe lightweight components to keep them agile, although I doubt if we'll be sending them anywhere where that matters, and maybe the optical processing unit to increase their range. So we'll start there. We'll probably give them some other abilities at some point in the future. Alright, so that's pretty much the end of the turn. We could make a scanner. I don't see our viz range. It would be nice if there was just an obvious viz range circle. I guess you just have to go look and kind of see it in this view. I don't really think there's any need to build scanners. Okay, let's go ahead in that case and move to turn 51. Not a lot to see here. We still have somebody with missing equipment. Hold on. What did I forget? Ah, right, the Bastion. We made a Bastion. Bastion can use guns. We can either make it divert power to stun or target their weapons. Interesting. I think we're going to stay on standard guns for the Bastion for now. And an augment, we'll probably use optical processing priority. Optionally, I guess we could make these stunners. That gives them a pretty good taser. And yeah, I'm not sure it's worth it. The taser value just seems too low for the plan we have for these guys. Okay, that's the end of turn 50. Let's move on to turn 51. They're still missing equipment. I didn't actually do it. Yeah, interesting. So I don't want to pick anything but standard guns here. Oh, yeah, I guess target their weapons is only a bonus. So that's why it's saying it. You really should pick one or the other. We'll pick target their weapons. Target their weapons. That gives us a plus 40 combat bonus, which probably makes the Bastion 265? No, 305. So that's our current highest combat power. I'm not sure I actually looked at that with combat power for vehicles. Highest power current, Bastion at 305. Highest power possible is Bastion at 305. Okay. That is time to turn. Time to switch to turn 51. There we go. And nothing really serious happened there. We're still flushing out bombers. In Street Sense, we still want to go here to the next deep materials study. This Bastion can fly over some of these squares, but looks like clearance is pretty tight on this part of the city. We'll move over here. Unfortunately, I forgot to pick up Mine Runner. Mine Runner is going to hop over here, and we'll waste the extra mental energy for that. Mistake. Oop. Thought the Mine Runner would be safe in there, but apparently that was not a safe move after all. Clearance 4. But I guess just because Mine Runner is visible, they're all going to attack it. Is there any way to get you to escape? Apply network shield. Damage degradation from net control skill. Wow. A lot of enemies shooting at that guy. Network assisted targeting, hack units. Take cover. So currently we're taking 3950. A take cover gets us down to 1977. We could also probably use Toxic Cloud. See, Toxic Cloud is pretty cheap. That is heavy metals. We have plenty of heavy metals. If that helps, does not. Not sure what the point of Toxic Cloud is. Shake off pursuers in a cloud of metals and dust if this unit has been marked defective. So all that does is make it so you're not marked defective. Okay. So I'm not really sure why we got targeted here. Since we're in an expert shadow dweller, we should have been able to hide in the shadows and go undetected. When it's at a building, unless it attacks, it can move freely up to clearance level 4. Provides no protection when not in a building, not at a building. Okay, so I guess this doesn't count as being at a building, so it was a mistake to go in there. Even though, like, you know, that's a building. Oh well, lost that mine runner, at least we're not losing the bastion. The bastion isn't going to be able to generate new androids, so it would be nice to get a troop ship up on that side of the map still. Anyway, down here there's 2 more deep material studies. We don't need the bastion for those right now. We can just make a new mind runner. And drop it here. Drop it on top of this spire. And then this mine runner should be able to hop over here and get a deep material study and not get attacked. Okay, clearly didn't get attacked here. This is only L3. Maybe that one's L4? And L4 was just too much. Oh, it's L5. That's the issue. Okay. Don't go into the spaceport. Don't go into the spaceport, folks. That is a dangerous place. Alright, we do have 2 more, and they're both in the spaceport, of course. If we move you at all, do you get shot? Yeah, it looks like you get shot if we move you. Death. If you take cover and then we move you. Death. What if we run you in there? Death. Yep. Not really any hope for surviving if you go into the spaceport, it looks like. And pretty sure the move itself kills you even if you get this. I don't think you'll get the material study, but let's try it. Yeah, okay. Destroyed, no big deal. There's 2 more in the spaceport. It's totally worth getting these, although if we check our engineering skill now, which is on Tech 4000. Tech 4000 engineering skills up to 485, so we're pretty much sitting pretty with engineering. Looking at all of the contemplations that are available, which we can nicely right click here and do this now. Beyond the Ruins doesn't need anything. Design VR pods, 400 engineering skill. Exploiting the Corp is 200 cognition. Did we actually get 200 cognition for that also? Yeah, we're at 235. So that was really the right thing to do. Nickelbots are the worst, so Nickelbots have to have 116 engineering skill. I think we can get them up to that now. Protection required needs 340 on a senior technician, and repair crabs do 100. So the questions are, can we get a senior technician up to 340 with what we currently have? If we look at senior technician and we set senior technician's augments to 2 additional CPUs, 335. What did I say we needed? 340? Yeah, so we do need to do 1 more of these. Unless there's a weapon that the senior technician has access to that gives you engineering skill also. No. Nothing else gives you. So we do need to do one more of these, which means we're going to have to sacrifice this mind runner at the spaceport. This mind runner can reach this with 2 mental energy. Designing the crucible. We'll do it. Sacrifice another mind runner. In fact, immediately upon doing that, we might as well just scrap the unit. And now our senior technician should be able to get up to a high enough engineering skill that we can go pick that up. Yeah, in fact, why don't we go do that now? Give the senior tech better movement and the best armor. And if we had a senior tech, I'd send them over there, but we don't. So that contemplation that we're talking about here is this protection required. Let's go turn that on with a new senior tech. Senior tech is a shell android. We have plenty of android capacity right now because of all the science we did. We'll drop you here, and then with our final mental energy, we'll turn on the protection required contemplation. Criminal syndicates, gangs, and even Fed Corps may be inclined to harass your shell company, and there's nothing your regular units can do about it without blowing your cover. Senior technician can't do this alone. You should design at least a pair of new units, and they should not have any apparent connection to your main identity. Clink. Alright, so that gives us access, finally, to 2, or does it not? No, we need to do, with versatile lens, we need to do 64 design points. Okay, so that's actually a design op, which means new opportunities to go around with the versatile lens and do other things like this one. No. Yeah, I'm not sure the lenses are actually working the way they're supposed to be. There's now 12 in project related, so if we look at some of these, why am I not seeing anything when I hover these? Intimidating mix, there we go, protection required. So we can up our intimidation and our engineering skill this way, but that's only for port mechs. We could do security, shell company operatives get intimidation and cognition, I like that. So yeah, so there's a few options here. We still need to finish designing the crucible. We're 56% done there. And fleshing out the bombers. So fleshing out the bombers was super important. That was because probably the one that we should finish first. That is because our main tower got attacked by bombers. We're currently using a secondary network tower as our backup. Fleshing out the bombers. To do this, it's just yet another project-related street sense. Fleshing out the bombers. Protection required. Strength training. Designing the crucible. Some of these are about fleshing out the bombers, right? Yeah, here we go. So these ones with the claws, apathy, and the other ones were these ones. So we can murder inhabitants or threaten inhabitants to try to flesh out the bombers. We're going to pursue that next turn, turn 52. Currently nothing else to build, so let's advance. 52. We are converting tents into residences, I assume is what that means. Flush out the bombers. Of course, now that it's the next turn, there's none nearby. They're always moving around on us. Do you have the troop ship here? We could move the troop ship up north and start bringing people. Actually, let's put the sledge on the troop ship. We'll put the senior tech. No, the senior tech will stay around here. We'll put the Nickelbot on the troop ship. And then let's start sending these guys over toward the threatened inhabitants. We need 200 intimidation. Okay, that's probably not going to be a Nickelbot, right? What about a sledge? Okay, so we need something more intimidating to do that. That's going to be the predators we left way up here, isn't it? Intimidation 200, really? Who has intimidation? Currently, if we look at androids, combat unit red is already above threshold. Predators are actually below. So we could send combat unit red out to do some intimidation. I bet that's just because of the settings or the equipment we've got you equipped with though, right? Yeah. Because of the Oath of Pacifism, that's giving you 200 intimidation. So we could turn that on the Nickelbot, for example, and that's probably going to take care of it for us, right? What if we actually go to the sledge first? And we don't have the option of giving sledge an Oath of Pacifism. But what about Nickelbot? Nickelbot can become intimidating instantly by taking an Oath of Pacifism. Shortens those range a bit, but then you are now able to do this. 4 conflict points, 10 apathy, better repair spiders, flush out the bombers. Done. No reprisals. Back on board the ship. Great. And that was 1 of 5. We only need to do that a few more times. There's another one way down here. So we'll send the troop ship down that way next. And this Knucklebot is out of mental energy, or out of action points, but we have plenty of mental energy to give you more. So you'll do that. We'll give you a little bit more to get back on the troop ship, and then next turn we'll be able to start right away with using our troop ship to move north. That kind of leaves everybody else with nothing to do. Probably isn't the most efficient turn, but we can keep going this way. Turn 53, nothing of major significance going to happen in turn 53. Deaths in the black market doom event has occurred. Ah, okay. Yeah, this was something that was coming. Black market tradesman and assistant are both discovered by Vorspur forces and put to death. Fortunately, the merchandiser escapes their notice. So, if I right-click on Street Sense, I did notice that there was a black market Street Sense that we could do earlier, but forgot to take advantage of it while we could. We probably should have checked into that. So that's roughly 50 turns into the start of a timeline. We have to do something next time to try to keep the black market tradesmen alive. Right now we're just going to head north with the troop ship, get it into range, or get the Nickelbot into range of these inhabitants threatened. So we're trying to flesh out the bombers. Do that once there. There's another one over here that's just out of range. And now we're going to have to pick you up with the troop ship to do any more. Oh, no, there's another one there. Just out of range. There we go. Flushed out the bombers. Projects are causing attacks. 2 enemy attacks planned, and now we want to defeat the bombers. 1 or more projects are currently causing attacks, and here they are. We have 2 enemy attacks planned on the residential megastructures. And these are citizen advocates, one of many masked vigilantes who help the lower classes and tend to avoid both you and the corporations. You crossed the line and they're out to destroy you. Okay, so they got pissed that we were trying to flesh out the bombers by scaring people. But we also have defeat the bombers. We've gotten their attention. You have no idea who these people are, but they have incredible power armor that makes them almost as fast as you. You've never faced any humans like this before. You're curious to know who they are, but they have no interest in conversation. Something gives you the sense that you might be the villain in this situation. Oh well. There are more of them than you expected. Eliminate 12 citizen advocates. Okay, so we are going down a bad path here. Nothing we can do right now, it seems like. We're going to bring the predators home. Oops, I did it again. Shields up instead of... because you don't have to push 3 to move ships anymore. I'm so used to that. Where are... so these enemy attacks are coming from citizen advocates, right? Yeah. So They are rebels, citizen advocates. Will probably try to intimidate them, except they're fearless, so we can't. They have really high morale. They have armor piercing, great combat power, great health. There's only 2 of them, but I imagine they're going to keep attacking in small groups like this until we finish the defeat the bombers. So let's bring predators in. Probably time to stick the predators into the troop ship, honestly, and get that going, but we'll keep using the Eagle for now until we have a moment to switch it out. With only 2 mental energy left, I think we're going to let them damage the megastructure. It's only going to take 10% damage, so it's not the end of the world. We'll start unloading. No. Yeah, let's start unloading this. We want to switch these guys into the other vehicle anyway. And then let's watch these guys blast us on turn 54. Okay, it looks like maybe we took out somebody with some deterrence. There's 4 people attacking. Here's 3 of them. 4th is still over here. Okay, so this predator over here took damage last turn somehow, or maybe he was just has been damaged all along, and I've just lost track. It's gonna be a hard time killing these guys. Right now, our predators are set up with M2 Gallants, which are a suppression weapon, really, and 52 Blacks. AR-52 Black is our best rifle for straight-up combat power. We also have ultralight plating. If we change them, there's no armor to deal with here, so we should change their weapons to just be straight-up AR-52 Blacks. That will give them a tiny bit better combat power. Fear attack power and armor piercing are useless here. The fire suppression, or suppressing fire, going from 75 down to 50, probably not that big of a deal here. And the range still seems fine. Just surprised we're only doing 16% damage here. It's a squad of 2. Their power armor is ridiculous. I think with all of our shots we'll be able to take out one of them. Maybe not. Okay, pretty close. So 6 shots, got 1 down to almost dead. Last Predator's gonna hop out here. And flamethrower is an option, but that takes out a lot of friendlies. We didn't really have any other way to deal with those. And that is a lot of bullets. Let's think about alternatives. So Predator's combat power is 12-12. Bulk Predator's combat power is 12-12. If we had a bunch of bulks around, that would be helping. These guys are 469. It's really our best option. We do have the Harbinger now, which has pretty low combat power. There's not a lot of other interesting side abilities that we have access to yet that could help. A Hellfire here could be helpful, or a Tailstock. Hellfire is innately more damaging. Tailstock's more about armor piercing. Why is the deterrence so much higher on this one? Deterrence is only... oh no, it's about the same. Sorry, I was off by a factor of 10 there in my brain. Okay, so Tailstock's a little more intimidating. Better health, more deterrence and armor piercing, but the Hellfire just does way more damage. Let's bring a Hellfire in, if we can. It's going to get attacked immediately if we put it close enough to fight. Maybe there's a spot here where we can find a spot. There we go. Put it here. We've got a mech. It is a Hellfire. A Hellfire mech can attack directly now and does way better damage than our androids were doing. These guys are attacking our wind generators, which isn't that bad, but there's a huge group of them here. That group, the lead citizen advocate, 10,000 health. Okay. Our tailstock, no, this is a Hellfire. Right here, our first real mech that we're using here. Does have shields up. Nobody's shooting at you yet. We only have one mental energy left though, so they're probably going to be shooting next turn. We could also... yeah, nothing else we can really do. Don't really want to shoot him this turn because I'm afraid they're all going to change their target to me, so... these wind generators are only going to take 7% damage. The geothermal well is taking a little bit more, but... I think we're okay just letting them shoot us for now. Let's maybe also bring in another... oh, we can't. Alright. Wanted to bring in more bulk. I think I'll do that next turn. What instead I'll do is just move the vehicles a little closer. The troop ship here can come in and pick up our predators next turn. Actually, yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll move you up here. We'll get you close to the predators so you can pick them up. We want to use that as kind of a gunship. And that will be the end of the turn. There are a lot of citizen advocates gunning for us. Let's see what happens when we go to turn 55. Okay, little damage. There's now 5 of them, so problem didn't go away. There's 2 over here now. 5 enemy attacks planned. Most damage is going to happen on the Hellfire, so not the best news. Hellfire's here. Fire is taking incoming shots from... hold on, my brain isn't finding the Hellfire properly here. Why is it not? There it is. Okay. It just doesn't have an icon in this view, so it's kind of jarring to not be able to find it. Plus the camera doesn't track from map out of map like exactly how you expect. Okay, there he is. Hellfire's ready to fight back. He's only got 1 incoming shot. The other one is going over here to the tower mainframe. And then this guy over here is shooting our housing agency, jerk. And then there's 2 on the other side of the town not doing anything. So we're going to start shooting at the lead citizen advocate. We do have 3 attacks here. Doesn't have any armor, but just has a ton of hit points. We could drop another Hellfire here to try to help. That's probably the best bet. Like, nothing else is really going to have the damage potential. Alternatively, I guess we drop Bulk Predators. Bulk Predators do have 1212 combat power, which is pretty nice. The only thing close to that is bulk combat units. The difference is 9 versus 12. We only have room for 1 of these, and it takes 6 mental energy. That's a lot. Hellfire is still going to die this turn. If we drop another mech, we'd need... yeah, we need more than we have. We could start dumping mental energy into your actions. Okay, alternatively, we need 3 mental energy to get you on board. 4 to get you down here. And then that leaves us with 6. So we could probably get 6 shots off on this guy. 8,500, that is just not going to drop him enough to save the Hellfire. Okay, that guy's just insanely powerful. We aren't currently losing any ships, that's the good news. let's load these guys in. I think we're gonna lose the Hellfire. And is there any way to get this thing into combat and not lose the troop ship and all the predators on board? That's the question. We do have Sledge also. They are in firing range. I guess their answer is to try to kill this other guy. And we get 2 shots each. We managed to take out one. That does bring the Hellfire damage down a little bit, but he's still gonna die. Okay. I thought we'd be able to do enough damage here or on that other one that it would drop us below a survival threshold there. Fresh identity, not gonna help, unfortunately. And unit recharge, we could get one more shot off there. I think we might be in trouble next turn. Guess we'll just take some shots. Wow, just like, yeah, does not do enough damage. Turn 56, let's watch that Hellfire get killed. And this guy is moving in to target the troop ship, which is going to die unless we do something. A move here, it still probably dies. So our first safest bet would be to try to bring out another Hellfire, but we don't have enough morphologic lattice for that. So yeah, we're in some serious trouble. Not enough damage output. If only we had the shotguns that we had in Timeline 1 here. Those could do it for sure. You know what we can do is, as an emergency, we can go to Betaverse and try to do some small arms and weapon research. We do have quite a bit of science, probably enough to do this twice. Or 3 times even. So let's do 2 gun researches. Handguns. Not what I wanted. Handgun. Okay, well, that's not going to help. And then small arms. Wow, still not going to help. We got nothing. Well, it was pretty much a Hail Mary, I guess. Yeah, maybe we'll go for sword sharpness, I guess. I don't know. That didn't help us at all, turns out. It was a Hail Mary. These guys can all jump out of the ship, so at least we don't lose them. Also. And maybe they can even take some fire. Yes, okay, so that's good. We are going to lose them after all, but at least they protected the ship. That was 1 shot. We can get a 2nd shot here. We can have this guy shoot that one. I thought we'd kill it by now, but oof, they are way harder than they look. And then we have the Sledge and the Predator. So Predator can hop out, do nothing essentially, and then the Sledge can hop out. And I don't think the Sledge's grenades are going to help at all. What is Sledge actually wielding? A GC-20 area grenade, which does a lot of area attack, but not much else. Maybe we can turn on the electro grenade. The stun here isn't going to help you because you have no engineering skill. Yeah. So I guess the grenade is not really going to help. All right, and then while they're not looking, it's a good time for this vehicle to run away, just out of range. So maybe we can preserve it and make some more predators, because we're going to steadily be losing predators here. It looks like we're going to lose at least 1 this turn. 1 more mental energy here. I don't think we can do a whole lot. Where is it? Or the Nickelbot. I guess we could bring on Nickelbot down from the desk. Nickelbot was in the Das Eagle, but isn't there now. Nobody's on the Gotha except for Tech 4000. So yeah, Nickelbot, I guess you can come into range and start landing some support as well. ish. And then let's see, we're going to lose a predator here. Like a few more, we still don't have enough to bring out another Hellfire. Next turn we will. Predators over here. This guy's fearless, so yeah, we can just barely do anything. There has to be another way to take this guy out that I'm missing. He's got high attack range. We do suppression, so as soon as we shoot him, I thought we'd do suppression there. So suppressing fire didn't actually do anything. Every time this unit fires, enemy units within the attack range of this unit have their attack and movement range reduced. Okay. Did not pin down by suppressing fire. Okay, there we go. Attack and movement range dropped by 25%. Every time we shoot him, or that's like, it's just one time, I think. Okay, over here, troop ship is in trouble. It's going to take a bunch of damage. We're going to move it out of the way. And then Nickelbot, we really need to focus fire on this one. I guess if you shoot these though, you're going to suppress them. Wow, you don't do any kind of damage. Oh, you have Oath of Pacifism on, right? Because we can't use that on these guys because they're fearless. We're going to turn it off. Don't think we need to turn Rage Circuit on. I don't think that's going to help us that much, but not really anything else to do. And what's this one? Achilles, right? So we can get a better bonus against them by switching you to Achilles. And up to 10% damage. You do a little suppression, but really not enough to help. We're going to lose a housing agency and another bulk predator, it looks like, this turn. Or, sorry, not another bulk predator. That's the first bulk predator we're going to be losing. There's a lot of damage. These guys are bullet sponges. Not a whole lot we can do except just absorb the damage and repair later. We will be able to bring out another Hellfire next turn. Maybe that will help us a little bit. I don't think any of our vehicles do enough damage to help, right? The Bastion, if you shot this guy 8%, that's not gonna help. Yeah, I think it's another Hellfire next turn, and more Predators. Can drop another Predator right now, which will help, but barely. We'll put that here. And this guy can shoot a few times, but now we're out of energy. Got this thing down to 23% health. Boy, we're barely doing any damage. Our total damage here is we're losing a Predator. Losing a bulk Predator and a Predator. We're taking serious damage to a bulk combat unit and some other buildings. So what? Okay, we got his attention here and he turned around and is killing the Predator we just dropped. That's what's going on. Turn 57, that's pretty much the end. This guy is making life hard on us, but probably get taken out this turn, I think. If we can reach him. Yep, right now there's 6 enemy attacks planned. We are losing a bulk combat unit if we can't help it. And this guy should be going down. 3 hits there, down to 50%. They're just not capable of doing this. 4%, 0, got him. Okay, so the big one's down. Hopefully there's no more of the leaders. Now we can start honing in on the rest of them. And we can bring in the Hellfire this turn if we want to. That is going to cost 4 mental energy. Going to drop it far enough away from randos that it doesn't start getting shot at, but hopefully within range of the bad guys. Alright. So it's this guy's shooting at a bulk. We'll take him out. Or we'll try. But we can't quite do it. That citizen advocate is down to 40% health. This one is down to 36, and we have another one there that is, or sorry, 48, and another one there that's full health. Still losing this bulk combat unit up here, but no other serious damage. And we do have a Hellfire on the field now, so that's something. Let's see what next turn looks like. Turn 59. Alright, project completed somehow. It looks like our bulk units helped us. We did defeat the bombers. Timeline achievement. 306 deaths from corporate revenge on the slums in this timeline. With a bunch of non-lethal takedowns, rescued a cat. We replaced some homeless tents with trees, killed a bunch of soldiers, accidentally killed a lot of people with nanotech. There's a lot of people, 182, almost 183 million in the region. There's 5 million total number of Vorsaber citizens from across all social classes currently waiting to move into the city. The numbers are mildly inflated by some people who keep their name on the list, but then opt not to leave their current city of residence when called. Most citizens will choose to move if their number comes up, since this city is considered among the top 10 safest of Vorsaber cities. Wow, really? Roughly 2.25 billion people worldwide. 11 million in housing. I hope that just means locally. Wow, and not even regionally. That's just unhoused. The unhoused quantity is high. 383,000 hours of VR day use logs. Rescued 6 dogs. They were all dachshunds. Estimated 15 million soldiers stationed in the city. 365,000 prisoners. And we killed 23 snipers. Do have quite a few options on this timeline goal that we haven't figured out yet. So we're going to continue here. Just one more goal. We are trying to up our intelligence class to level 5. We haven't quite reached that. We'll continue attempting that next time. It looks like we're in for some serious trouble here with a lot. This time it's just Lurpeco mineral snipers. These guys are probably responding to the fact that those citizens advocates came in and destroyed deterrents. Yep, there's no deterrents on this Thortfite skimmer, so they are ready to blow it up. Join us next time when we try to protect our vulnerable structures. They've all been exposed. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Corknut playing Heart of the Machine. Consider leaving a like, subscribing to the channel, and leaving a comment. I hope to see you next time. Till then, bye for now.